Okay. Hi, I'm Ron Johnson of RJ's Farm Horsemanship Communication. Welcome to day 3. Day 2 is going to be a highlight reel. We had a mistake. I forgot to turn my microphone on. But today I remembered to turn it on, and this is day 3, and we're moving out of the round pen and into the big ring, and hoping to see how good he does. I think he's going to do fine. He did wonderful the past 2 days, so I'm expecting another wonderful day. Right now I'm just kind of walking him around, showing him everything, seeing if there's any areas he's a little concerned with. He's been in here before, so there shouldn't be any issues, but I want to know. I want to know any place that he feels uncomfortable. I want to know that before I get there. And so I'm walking, hanging that rope in my fingers, and every now and then I'm going to stop. See if he stops. If he don't, I'm going to be ready to stop him. But I need him to know that when I stop, he needs to stop. That eventually will translate into when I stop riding, he stops moving. Because as of right now, he'll come out of the trot down to a walk, but he doesn't actually stop without me pulling on him. And so now, instead of going forward, I'm going to go backwards, see if he backs with me. He didn't. And we'll walk him over some of these obstacles, and we'll do them while riding as well. But for now, I'm starting on the outer edge and making sure there's nothing he's concerned about. He seems pretty easy going, huh? Yeah, he doesn't, then I don't know if this is normal or just recent. He's starting to do this. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I wasn't sure if, part of his racehorse training, because like the flag didn't really bother him when I started with the flag. He did think it meant go, he seems pretty level-headed. So just trying to see how he feels about his feet moving around and getting close to things on the ground. Try and come through between these two, see if he'll come down between them or if he gets worried about it. Okay. All right. I've seen enough. Time to mount up. And so how long I ride will depend on how he feels to me. He had 2 days in a row of a workout. And, if he feels energetic and wanting to continue, then we'll continue. If not, then we're going to stop when he's starting to feel a little sluggish to me. Okay to just lay yours across the railing here? No, it's a plain old rope halter, just like this one, except it don't have the extra knots. I'm not a fan of these extra knots. It's just a regular double diamond halter, and I bought some clip-on reins. They're kind of a nice stiff rein. I can bring them over and show you them if you'd like. Okay, come on. And so I like these reins because of the clip-ons, and I'll show you what I do with them. And I'll get close for the camera too if the camera wants to see it. They're a good stiff rein that allows me to push.
Oh, so you do it right through?
Yeah, I go through and grab the outside. Go through and grab the outside. That way I'm not, because if you clip it here, sometimes when you're pulling back, it touches the neck, you know. Okay. I just go through and clip. Okay. Cool. Right? And so my right rein is actually connected to the left. Right rein is connected to the left side, and the left side is connected to the right side.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yep. Yep. Okay, buddy. Okay, so he's pretty relaxed. Let's see how he feels. Okay, I don't really want him walking off, so I'm going to stop him. I'm going to dismount, and we're going to do that again. Okay, buddy? Hey, you got to wait for me, okay? Put that down there. Okay, I'm sorry. Yes? So I like to vary things when I'm working with a new horse as much as possible so that gets experience for if I slip out of the saddle and drop, or, you know, sometimes I'll actually kick him in the butt on my way across accidentally. I mean, I try not to smash him, you know, but sometimes that might happen. So I kind of want to know, if I graze him, how is he? All right, now if I bump him a little harder, how is he? I just want him used to all those things in case they happen. So I change things up as much as I can.
I've kind of figured you're doing that for the different mentality of the horse, how he's going to react. I just wanted to...
Yeah, just basically to give him some exposure to different ways of things being done. Good job. Whoop. Good job. Whoop. Nope. All right, so he left before I was ready, so I'm going to get down again. You got to wait, okay? Got to wait. Thank you very much. Nope. Okay, now we can go. And so I'm just going to walk him as much as I can, feel him out, see how he feels about me flopping around a little bit. I don't want him grabbing at anything on the rail or sniffing at anything over the rail. And so when I ask for these little bends, I'm doing it with my body, but I'm just gently asking for him. Now I'm telling him, never mind those guys out there. You just keep walking. Thank you. So I've got to fix him a little. Good job. So the footing's definitely a little better in here than out there. So I'll do a few laps around the outside at a walk, and then I'll kind of maneuver my way through. And this is kind of me warming them up, you know. I know a lot of people like to lunge for a warm-up. I prefer slow, easy warm-up, that walk we did while I was on the ground. And then, you know, sometimes I'll do some disengagement or moving through the shoulder, all that on the ground. But he did so much of it yesterday and the day before. I'm going to try and keep him somewhat straight today, but still get the bends for directional steering. So he's very curious about what's on the other side of this rail here. Good job. So I'm just going to turn him around now and go back. And now this is clockwise, which he's more likely used to the counterclockwise. He sees a donkey. So I'm kind of pedaling him a little bit, but he's doing really good. I don't feel like I'm pushing very hard, but I am doing a little more than I need to, I think. But I'm not in a hurry to make him hold up his end yet, because I'm still trying to feel him out, and I'm still trying to warm him up a little bit. And if I say go a little quicker and he picks up a trot, I don't want to immediately shut him down. I want to be able to let him do that. So I want him fully warmed up before I do that. Here we go. He's picking up pace. Good job. Yeah. Good job. So I'm hearing a little bit of breathing, a little bit of snorting. Nothing to be concerned about, but enough to know that he's telling me he's got a little worry. Not too bad, but a little. And so I'm just going to keep him on that loose line as much as I can. If he gets his head too low, I might ask it to come back up. But if it, you know, I'm not overly concerned about his head position right now, except I want his eyes looking where we're heading. So he's a little slower here. He definitely goes better up that wall. And in that direction is better than coming back this way. Okay, so he's falling into his right shoulder right now. I'm trying to fix that. There we go. So when I get up here, I'm going to try to go between those two parallel poles and see if he'll walk through. He walked through fine when I was leading him. Let's see if he's confident to do it with me above him. I'll go as far as I can before turning towards it. You pooping again? So let's see how his confidence is with this, with me above him. Not bad. Good job. And we'll step over those. Just try to gently steer him towards it so he knows we're going over it. If he wants to stop to check it out, that's fine. A piece of dirt or sand or a pebble just hit the plastic. That's what that flinch was about. You know, and so if he has problems with this, I'm not going to force him to go. I'm just going to keep encouraging him to go. Let him look down. Tell him around is not an option. But I'm going to give him a loose rein and give him that option to go. Okay? And if I'm not going to sit here too long and give him, so he's backing away. I'm going to just kind of push him forward. I want to get forward and then redirect. Let him smell it if he wants to. And then, now that he did that, I'll turn away from it. And then I'll turn back towards it. So he's fighting my hand, so I'm going to try and be as gentle as I can with my rein. And then get some forward momentum and walk back towards this from a distance and see if he's willing to step over it. Good job, buddy. Good job, buddy. Good job. And we'll try that from the other direction, but not right away. I'm going to kind of cut across and go across those three. And that sunlight might cause a little bit of a challenge, but maybe not. So he's fighting the rain. Let him check it out. I will ask for forward in a second, but he stopped, so I want him to look, get a good understanding what's in front of him, and then now he's backing. So I'm going to ask for forward. If he keeps backing, I'm just going to try and redirect him and then redirect him again. You're okay, buddy. You're okay. All right, so let's turn and go away from it and come back to it so he can see it from a distance. Okay, so let him look at it from here. See how he feels. You know, and I might get off and walk him over it again. Maybe I don't have to. Good job, buddy. Good job. Okay, so now maybe I'll turn and go over this one. Good job. Now, I'm not ready to try and turn him around in this little box, but I am ready to walk through and walk over that other pole. I'm trying to keep him away from the rail just because he seems to want to look over the fence. And I'm trying to be as gentle as I can on the reins, steering with my body and leg as much as possible so that he gets the idea that whatever my body does is what he needs to do. And I want to do that as much as possible before I introduce him to a bit, because I don't know how a bit is going to change his mindset. It may very well turn him into a bit of a lunatic. And I only say a lunatic because, you know, as a racehorse, with that bit in his mouth, he might think, oh, we're getting ready to go, and those are the handlebars to hold on to, and I'm going to prepare to get going. And so I want him really recognizing what my body's saying right now. What my body is saying is very important. And I want that to be more important than what the reins are saying, or what my legs might say for speed. And so like right now, I'm kind of using my legs to kind of bump him. Gravity and inertia is really allowing that to happen. I'm using a little bit of muscle and a little bit of a push in my hip, but okay, so he's a little, so now I might start asking for a little extra. And see if he'll flow with what the rhythm of my hip is doing. And then we'll get that trot soon enough. But I want to make sure before I go to speed that he's comfortable and happy. And as of right now, he feels pretty good. I feel like he's stepping on something every now and then that bothers him, but for the most part, he's pretty good here. There we go. Just to get that little extra. There we go. Got some pep in his step now. You know, we don't want rocket fast. We just want comfortable, enjoyable, and useful. I don't want to wear him out. I just want him to feel good and be happy with this arrangement. I don't want him to feel like I'm going to push him too much. I don't want him to feel like I'm demanding anything. I want him happy. And so as much as I can, I'm going to try and be as gentle as I can on my reins. I'm just kind of in my fingers there and just kind of turning my shoulder back and letting my fingers flex if they need to. That way I'm not pulling real hard. Now, there might be a time where I grab that rein and pull, but I'm going to avoid it as much as I can. Okay, so I'm going to kind of cut across and change directions. So here I got to tug a little. Cut across, and I'm going to turn right. Good job, buddy. Good job. So where he likes to slow down coming down here, I'm going to ask for that little extra. Now he's gawking, and I'm looking at the ground in front of me about 2, 3, 4 strides ahead, and when I see his head flip to one side or the other, that's when I fix it. Okay. So he feels pretty well warmed up. He's picking up that walk pretty decent for me. This is nice right here. And for some reason, he likes going a little faster here. So I got to remember that when it comes time to picking up pace, don't use as much energy going up this way because he's already extra energetic coming up here. So that's something you want to be aware of when you're riding a new horse or one that you're unfamiliar with. Try to figure out, where does he slow down? Where does he shy away? Where does he speed up? Where does he get drawn to? Know those areas. That way you can have a better sense of what you need to do. Right here is slow, so I can say, come on now, you can give me a little. Good job, buddy. Good job. Right? And then again, over there, he just naturally wants to go faster. And it's probably the sunlight and his shadow on the wall, but whatever. We're going to do it. We're going to see how he goes. I'm going to see if there's any changes. And the more we expose him to his shadow, if that bothers him, the better off he'll be. Right? Because we don't need a horse afraid of his own shadow. Right? So here he goes. He's speeding up a little bit. And he might think he's racing that horse right there. I don't know. Good job, buddy. Okay. Okay. And so here, I feel like I'm ready to pick up a trot. Good job, buddy. And we're just going to sit it nice and comfortably. And I'm going to let him continue going up here and be ready if he tries to speed up, which he very well might. Good job, buddy. Good job. So it's a comfortable pace. I don't care for his frame, but he's doing pretty well. And I just let him out of that. He stopped on his own. I didn't ask him to stop, but it was the first request. And my rule of thumb is whenever I make a first request, it's whatever he gives me, it's good enough. So that's where he decided he wanted to stop. So I'm good with that. After a few requests, you're gonna poop again? Is that what you're doing? After a few requests, then I might hold him to a higher standard. So if he doesn't go, I'm just gonna go to the right and then go back to the left. So there's a horse and a donkey right there that he kind of wants to see, right? And so he's telling me he wants to see them. So if he gives me a nice trot again, I'm going to cut right across the arena and let him go see those guys. We're out of it right there. So we'll cut across. And I'll let them see them. And I'll actually let them stop and check them out. Whoop. Good boy. Right? So he just did something good for me, so I gave him something he told me he wanted. And I'll give it to him for just a few seconds here. And then we'll walk away. Okay, buddy? So now I just earned some points. Okay, and so now I'm gonna kind of just relax. Yeah, and come right down to the walk. Good job. Good job. And let's see if we can trot up this wall. Good job. Let's see if he'll trot by without me asking again. Nope, I gotta ask again. So he told me I'd like to see that. I'd like to see them again. So he picked up the trot when I re-asked, so I'm going to cut across again and let him go see them. You can't chew on anything, okay? No chewing on anything. Right? So giving him what he's asking for, even though it's just for a second or two, is going to go a long way. And when we ask for something from him. How is your riding ability? Do you ride well? Reasonably well? Yeah?
Beginner, maybe intermediate.
Okay. I'm just curious. Because I feel like, yeah, I feel like anybody could ride him right now as long as they don't try to push too hard. I do. So now I'm going to try and come down the middle here. I'm going to try and do it with a little bit of exuberance. I know he's probably not going to trot down for me. But I want to make sure we have a little bit of energy. And I'm going to go to the right of that cone and I'm going to come right back up the middle off the other side. Must be some stuff in the middle there. So we're going to ask for a little extra. Not asking for a trot. I just want to avoid those things. Okay. Now I'm going to turn right and I'm going to let him see his buddies over there. And I'm being as light as possible with my rein. I don't know if you can see that in the camera. But I'm being as light as I can on that rein, using more of my leg. Whoa, whoa. Up. Don't you want to see your buddies? I'm stopping for you. See, he wanted to walk by this time, so that's really good. Okay, and so now I'm going to kind of do a different pattern. I'm going to go down, I'm going to go up the far side, and then down this near side. And I'm going to try to get a little bit more momentum out of his walk. Not ready to trot them up that center yet, but I will be in a moment. A few more paths, a few more trips. So here we go. And then when I get around that thing, I'm going to go to the left, go around the cone. Again, I'm going as light as I can on those reins. I'm just kind of rolling my fingers and turning my wrist. And I'm going to get ready for a transition here. Ready, switch. Good job, good job. Now I'm going to come down here. And, whoop, he's slowing down, so I'm going to ask for some more. There we go. And so the next time I come down the middle, I'm going to try it at a trot and see how he does. And it's going to be the same exact direction because I'm going to go the far side. I'm going to pick up the trot on the wall, and I'm going to try to come down the center to that side. Good job, buddy. Good job. Now I'm going to go to the outside of that cone, and I'm going to try to keep the trot going. And go up the other side, right up the middle here. Good job, buddy. Nope, we don't want to step on that. Good job, buddy. Good job. Transition. Good job. Good job. And I'm just going to let the reins go, stop riding. Drop to the walk, but he didn't stop. So I might pick up the rein to start letting him know he needs to stop. And I'm just going to hold it gently until he starts moving his feet, and then I'll let it go. And then we'll walk. Geez, if I'd have thought about this rail, I'd have brought my water bottle in and stopped for a sip every now and then. It's kind of dry in here. It's got a really nice, gentle upward transition. He's, no, I don't feel it, but I keep my hips really loose, so I don't feel like he's bouncy. When you ride, do you post?
Depends on the horse.
Yeah. So I don't know how he'll respond to posting. I've been sitting his trot, and I have not posted on him yet. So I can try that. So his rhythm's not awesome for posting. He keeps changing speeds. There we go. Now this is good. And now I'm going to sit, let the reins out, and stop riding. So he's still walking, so I'm just going to pick up a rein, and I'm going to hold it until his feet stop moving completely. I'm not doing anything. I'm not pulling hard. If he walks off on his own, I'm going to pick up that rein again. And I might pick up the other one. But right now, everything I've done was in the right rein. So, okay. Right, so your downward transition, as of right now, I'm not using my reins to stop. I'm letting the reins out, stop riding in my body. You can probably use your reins. I'm just trying to avoid a possible problem that may not even exist. So I'm going to try and cut across the middle. He's fighting me, so I'm going to use outside leg. And then I'm going to transition to turn right. Cut across. Transition to turn left. Good job, buddy. So that last stretch felt a little bumpy, but right here he feels good. I'm gonna cut across the middle. Step into that stirrup, use my outside leg. I'm gonna transition, turn right. Step into that stirrup, push with the outside leg. Didn't keep going, so I'm gonna push. Kim, I'm gonna come right in front of you. Turn right. Turn left. Harder. All right, so we went around this. I wanted to be on the other side of it. Okay, and stop riding. So he's still walking. So I'm gonna pick up a rein. I'm just gonna hold it until his feet stop moving and then let it go. And wait and see what he does. Good boy. Right? And so that's how I get them to stop on my body. I give them that opportunity to stop on my body. And then if they don't, the downward transition is great. Goes down to the walk wonderfully. But he doesn't actually stop moving his feet. So I pick up that rein until the feet stop. And then as soon as the feet stop and I feel like there's no tension in his brain that's finding its way through his body. So right here we got some tension. We got some tension. There we go. So anytime I pick up a rein and he gets really stiff, then I just get active with my foot. You know, sometimes I'm bumping, but usually it's a grazing bump. So it's kind of a kick and a slide, kick and a slide, kick and a slide. Not really a thump thump. Not that if he did something that I felt like he needed a reprimand for, then I might give him a good thump. But he's being wonderful. Except right here, he's going against me. So here, I'm just going to kind of slide that pressured heel right up his rib cage. And thank him for his request. Thank him for his response. How do you feel? Yeah? You seeing what you saw, are you comfortable?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Do you want to give him a go? So right now I'm stopping him on my left rein. There we go. Just one rein when I'm stopping him. So try to remember that. Whatever rein, just try to use one for now. You might be fine using two, so if you make a mistake, you'll probably be fine. But okay. You want the mountain block? Or? It's over there in the middle. You want me to hold the other stirrup?
We'll see.
Stay put, buddy. Stay put. Yeah, try to stop him with one rein. Just hold it until he stops moving his feet and then let it go. Yeah. And you can get off like I did, or you can just keep going. You know, just know that if he keeps getting away with that, he's going to keep doing it. So, you know, today we can cut him some slack. He's doing wonderful. He worked hard the past 2 days. So I'll try to find my way close to the middle. Is your microphone on? In case you have questions or anything?
How out of shape I am.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Maybe a little breathing here and there. So you can use your legs and a push with the hip. I've been using a single kiss for the walk and a double kiss to get up into that trot. And, you know, he'll learn you whatever you decide you want. Just be consistent with what you want and make sure he knows what you want. And the more relaxed you are, the more relaxed he'll be. So if you feel any tension inside of you, whether it's in your belly, in your neck, or in your shoulders, try to let that go. Really let your pelvis and in the lower part of your spine just flow with him. You should feel the energy coming out of his hind legs, coming up through your hip and down into his front leg. And so as I speak, I'm going to say hind, front, hind, front. Okay, and so when I say that, I'm going to be talking about his left side when he's loading up his hind and releasing it through his front. Okay?
Okay.
So, are you changing directions?
I am.
Okay, so I'm going to use the right side then.
Okay.
It's because it's the side closest to me that I can see best. Okay?
Okay.
And so, hind, hind, front, 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 hind, front. Do you feel that? Do you
Right.
feel the energy coming up through your hip?
Yes.
Okay, so how we control his speed is when that energy comes up and hits our hip, if we give a little boost to it, we'll speed up. If we let the saddle kind of hit us a little and then we kind of let that energy run into us a little bit, we'll slow him down. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And we can use our reins, you know, to slow him down, and we can use our legs or a bump to speed him up. Am I in your way?
No, I was having him stop. Nope.
What time are we on? Okay. So how does he feel? Does he feel like you're working harder than him, or does he feel like he's matching you? Or do you feel like he's going really good and you're just kind of along for the ride?
I do feel like he's, I don't want to say lazy, but I do feel as though it's taking a lot of energy to keep him moving.
Yeah. So in that case, just encourage a little bit more and take whatever he gives you and try to find the rhythm of whatever he gives you and see if he stays there. So basically, you're going to ask him to go, and that can be a squeeze, a bump, a lift of the heel, a push of the hip, a kiss. Yep. So right there, just keep. Go on, boy. Yep. And so when you slap your leg, make sure there's something from the hip or something from the leg along with it.
Good boy.
I'll help you out. Yeah. Okay. Try to let your heels sink down a little bit and try to keep your knees off, which like right now they are. But do your best to keep your knees off him. Mm-hmm. And it's okay that the inner part of your thigh is in contact with the saddle. Right? So he's going to test you a little. He wants to know if you have integrity, right? So you have to earn that.
Good boy. Good boy.
Good. So what I see right now is him moving along really good and you finding rhythm.
Yes.
Does that feel good to you?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Just making sure I'm not seeing things. Right? And so when he's going and he's doing well and you're happy, try not to get greedy.
Okay.
And make a change. Any change. Doesn't matter. You can slow him down. You can let him stop. If he's doing really good and you feel like, oh, he's doing awesome, bring him over there and let him see his buddies through the gate. You know, just don't stop too often over there because that's where he's testing you a lot. But if he's doing good for you, it's okay to bring him over and say thank you. Right? Okay, so I see you looking down at him. Mm-hmm. Be wary about that. Don't try to send your energy into a place. Look where you want him to go rather than worrying about what he's doing. Keep sending your energy. And so right there, okay. So you were trying to get a right turn, and then he decided to go left and said no?
Right.
All right, so he talked you out of something.
Okay.
That's actually not a good thing. That's consequential. How big of a consequence is it? I don't know. So you only did it once. So it might not be that bad. But if that becomes a habit of yours, then he's going to learn hey, she's going to make suggestions and I can say absolutely not, and it's okay with her, right?
Okay.
So we want to be aware of those times and say, you know what, dude, I need this, right? Right now, it's not a big deal. We're in an arena. There's not a lot around, no emergencies, nothing, you know, but we're going down a trail and there's something under his feet that he can't see. He's got to listen to what we say because we can see it. He cannot. And we don't need him tripping or stepping or, you know, maybe we're seeing a pile of stuff and some bees or something. We're flying into some brush and there's a hive in there. And you know if he steps on it, you're going to disrupt that hive. He didn't see it, but you did, right?
Right.
We're going to steer him away from that, and he has to listen. Otherwise, we're both in trouble, right?
Yes.
So here in the arena, it's not a big deal, but somewhere down the road, that's going to matter. And so we want to make sure that he doesn't try that on us too much. So if you try to go right and he doesn't go, hold on and try to maintain that right turn or left turn, if it happens to be a left turn, until he at least turns in that direction. And then you can say, okay, now you wanted to go that way, we can go that way now, but you got to do what I say. Not because I'm the boss and you're the hoss, but because I know better. This is a human world and you don't understand it, right? And we got to explain that to him. And we explain that to him through these little drills and practices. Right? Because he doesn't think the same way we do.
Okay.
We think in words. He don't have words. He might know a few. He might know whoa. He might know go. He might know trot. He might know canter. You know, he might know some words. He might know back up. He might know stand. You know, but he can't think in words like we do. We explain things in words. Right? And so we have to use a directional flow of energy to control his mind, right? Use a directional flow of energy to give him a thought. Yeah, so just add a little of your leg and reach forward with your right hand, more with your shoulder than your hand though. So think about pushing your shoulder to shove his head back towards the inside of the arena. So it's an assumed energy, not an actual physical energy, but he will feel that in the seat. Because what your body does and how that transitions to what he feels where the saddle makes contact with his body, that'll make a difference. So, yeah, good. Yeah.
Good boy.
And his trot is nice. It's really smooth. So if you feel like trotting, give it a go.
Okay.
And that might help him get a little bit more energetic for you. So kind of give him a double kiss and pump with your legs when you slap. There you go. And just let everything flow. Yeah. Good, good, good. Nice job. Nice job.
Nope, nope.
And so remember, these are the first few times that you ask for the trot, right? You're finding his rhythm, he's finding yours. So when you ask for it, take what he gives you.
Okay.
And when he comes out of it, let him come out of it, go a little at a walk, and then ask again. After about 5 or 6 upward transitions, then you can start staying in it longer.
Okay.
But at this point, we want to go to where he recognizes your rhythm. And then he'll fall out of it. And that, you know, he might be falling out of it to test you. Or he might be saying, you know what, that's about as far as I can go right now. I'm feeling a little, you know, and whatever that is. And so he's definitely easier to motivate going this direction right here.
Okay.
From this cone up, he's very easy to get going. You want some help? No? No, you got it. You got
Good
it.
boy.
Good job.
Good boy.
And just try to find that rhythm. Make sure there's a little bit of a push there to help him out. Right? Then so as you're coming around this corner, you might want to try and get that trot again so that he doesn't try to stop.
Come on. Come on. Come
Go
on.
ahead and give a double kiss when you slap.
Come on.
Looks like he wants to poop. The tail's coming up. Yep, he's pooping.
My little poop monster.
Yeah. So
All right, come on.
he used the horse and the poop as an excuse to stop. Which is okay. I know some don't. Some will say, don't let him stop, keep him going. And that's fine. I'm that kind. If we're in a spot that it needs to be picked up, I let him stop. It's a neat pile. I don't want to chase it around. But that's just me.
Good boy.
If we're outside and we're, on a trail or in a trail course, then I make sure he keeps going.
Good boy.
Good job. How many steps do I got today? Goodness. Okay, so did you want that trot back?
Yeah.
Okay, so keep asking till you get a try. So every time you give up on a request, you're telling him, I might ask for something, but you don't have to do it.
Good boy.
There you go. Right? And so we don't want to put that thought in his mind. We want to make sure, changing directions?
I'm just going to stop for... Right.
Okay. Yeah. So remember, just hold the one rein until he completely stops and then let it go. Yeah.
So keeping him in that trot, is that going to be something that gets better over time, or is that his personality, or
so
I guess the energy I put into keeping him moving?
Yeah. So that's going to depend on how much you put up with, how much you ask to do extra. Mm-hmm. If you're willing to let him trot at that pace and you're going to use that extra muscle, mm-hmm. then that's him resisting you, and you're teaching him that it's okay to resist.
Okay.
Right? And so if he's doing that and you say, hey, buddy, come on, and then he picks it up and then you go back to just being in the same rhythm as him, mm-hmm. then he'll start to realize, oh, we got a match. We got a match.
Okay.
Right? But if you're letting him go slow and you're still trying to push, he's going to feel that resistance and he's going to say, okay, that's how it's supposed to be.
Okay.
So we're programming him to think he's supposed to resist us.
Okay.
We don't want that, right? So a little slap on the leg or a little bump with the leg, or if you want to reach back and tap his butt, you can do that too. I can't imagine he's going to bolt off. I wouldn't smack him.
Right.
But to reach back and tap him, it's probably not. Or take one of your tassels and throw it back.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Just make sure it don't sting him.
Right. Okay.
I assume, being a racehorse, he's been stung with a whip and he's okay with that. But
right, and that's why
I don't recommend you doing
hesitant. I don't use crops or dressage whips or anything.
Yep.
Only because I have 4 OTTBs. So
yeah.
I never want to put them back in that headspace.
I rarely find them necessary.
Okay.
A lot of times I just slap my leg, and if that don't work, I might go 1, 2, 3, 4. If that don't work, I might go 1, 2, mm-hmm. back to here again. Okay. And if that don't work, then I'm going to go, come on, until he gives me what he needs.
Okay.
But it's going to be just kind of my fingers hitting him. Yeah. It's not going to be anything that hurts, just a kind of shaking someone to wake him up. Okay. You know what I mean?
All right. And for right now, this is only his, second or third ride. Just getting those transitions is the goal. And then after, 10, 12 rides.
When he starts to get reconditioned, because he fell out of his conditioning. He was trained, in his training, he was very well conditioned.
Right.
How long has he been off the track, out of training?
Several months.
Yeah. And then you've had him a couple months now.
Right.
And so he hasn't had to really work his muscles.
Right.
For however long.
Okay.
So we want to work him back into that pretty slowly.
Okay.
And get it so that his muscles are going to get worked, but we don't want him sore tomorrow.
Right.
Because he'll know that we caused it.
Okay.
And then next time he sees us come, he's like, oh, they're coming, and I felt like crap the last time they took me out.
Okay.
Right? So we don't want him thinking that.
All right. So focus on transitions now, and then after he gets a bit more transition, after we have more saddle time, then raise your expectations. Say, I want you to stay in this trot a little bit longer.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
But at the same time, even now, if we feel like he's sluggish, we want to say,
higher
come
energy.
on, do the same as me.
Okay.
Be the same as me. Right?
Okay.
And when you drop your reins and you slow down, if he doesn't slow down, that's when we pick up that one rein and say, hey, do the same as me.
Okay.
I'm slowing down. You should be slowing down too.
Okay.
Right? Now, he's pretty good at coming down to the walk. He just doesn't actually stop moving his feet.
Okay.
Right? And that's, I totally expected that because they run and they trot their way out, and then when they get in, the only time they're really stopped and they're really not stopped is when they're in the chute and they're still ready to go.
Right.
And as soon as the chute opens, they go, they get down to the bottom, they get collected, and they're still moving even after that run.
Okay.
And then they probably go into a hot walker to cool off. Right. So for him to continue walking, that's just something that's mentally normal for him.
Okay.
Right. So when we want to teach him differently, we're going to pick up that rein, give him all the time he needs to stop, but when he finally does, let it go.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. Yeah.
Now, if he was running away with us, total different. We'd use a total different technique for that.
Okay.
But where he's coming down to the walk for us wonderfully, as soon as we stop riding, just picking it up and holding it until he stops moving his feet and releasing it is what's going to make him learn to come to a stop off the body.
Okay.
And you'll be able to use your reins less for that.
Okay. Great.
Now, all bets are off if you go trail riding with other people and they decide to canter.
Yeah.
Because mentally, he's going to think, oh, we're racing.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So that's going to, we need some more time to work on that. Get somebody in the arena, have them canter around, and we say, no, you stay at a walk.
Okay.
Or, all right, let's trot behind them. Let them get away.
Okay.
You know, sometimes maybe we might come in a little bit and have them do circles around us as we go.
Okay.
You know, if you got somebody who can canter circles
That's
around you while you're going, that'll teach him to stay calm and regular when everybody else is up.
Okay.
Right? Because that may trigger him into race mode.
Okay.
Right? We don't know that. So.
Okay. All right, let's do one more good walk around or maybe even one more good trot, and then I think that's a good.
Okay.
What do you think?
I think he's doing wonderful. I think as long as you get a good experience, I don't feel like me jumping back on and doing anything with him would be fair to him. So I say when you're done, he's done.
Okay.
But make sure it's in a good, like, see right there's some resistance. So kind of pulse that rein and pulse your leg to kind of soften him up a little bit. And we want to make sure we don't pull too much because that will slow him down and he's already kind of being a little sluggish on you.
So it's more of a bumping?
What's that?
It's more of a bumping than a pull?
Well, I kind of just massage it so that I'm not holding it. Okay. If I hold it, I do want the stop or the slow down. But if I kind of give a tug and a release, tug and a release, tug and a release, then I'm saying, I just need you to bend. I need you to turn. It gives them something for differentiation.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And you can do whatever you want. That's just my technique, my method. It doesn't mean you have to do that. I just find it's very beneficial to do that because it gives him that ability to figure out, am I asking for a bend or am I asking for a slowdown? Right? If I grab and hold, I'm asking for a slowdown. But if I pulse it, release, pulse, release, pulse, release, pulse, release, I'm asking for him to actually give me a bend, either at the pole or fully bend through the neck all the way down through his rib cage. You know, it really depends on what I'm asking for. You know, and when he gets better and he starts doing lateral work, that pulse might be upward instead of coming back towards me, so that I get the nose tipped slightly to the inside, but I move his shoulder to the outside, right? or vice versa. Maybe I want to tip the nose to the outside and move his shoulder to the inside, right?
Come on.
So,
come on. Good boy.
Yeah.
Good boy.
Good job. And it's nice to see him calm, right?
Yeah. It's definitely
just-
not what I was expecting.
Yeah.
Good boy.
Yeah.
Good boy.
He's showing really nice sensibility.
Good boy.
And that's what we need. We need a sensible horse. It doesn't matter what they're capable of or how beautiful they are. If they're not sensible, they're dangerous.
Yeah.
And so that's my goal. Any horse that I get my hands on or come in contact with, my goal is to make them sensible.
Okay.
You know, and that's what we're working on.
Perfect.
And I think we got a good start.
I think he did awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, cool.
Good boy.
All right. So you want to take them out and switch them over there? You want to switch them over there and walk them back down?
We could just do what we've been doing and bring him out. And
Yeah. Okay. So that ends it. That's the end of our 3-day. I feel like he did pretty good, and hopefully we're going to continue to progress him. It's all in Lana's hands now. Thanks for watching. Appreciate your time.